So what I've been going through here is posting different things, especially let's say swaddling. Now, the number one is, why do you swaddle? Is to give them a womb-like environment. Okay, folks, we're out of the womb. There's no more womb. They can't go back. That's not the way we learn how to move. And even sleeping is a movement. We have to learn how to sleep. We have to learn how to lie down. Everything is a learned behavior. In the womb, you have a frictionless, or should have a frictionless environment. The body is meant to expand in all directions. The reason gravity is different in the womb is, first of all, you're in amniotic fluid, but second of all, you're not intaking or eliminating. I'm not breathing, I'm not exhaling. If I am, it can be life-threatening to the baby and to you, right? The baby starts to go into distress. They're not taking in food, they're not taking in all that, they're in amniotic fluid. When a baby goes through the process of delivery, and this is important, one of the things that I've posted up now, and the cerebral palsy workshop, the parent plan that I just had, and also that's being covered in the reflex course, is I have now my whole birth deviations, because not all births are created equal. And so when your baby does go through a different type of birthing structure, it needs to be acknowledged and to see what kind of movements might have been missed by the baby. A natural childbirth is how we're all supposed to be born. It doesn't matter what country where you come from, where you're from, where you're going, where we all give birth to babies the same way. The United States of America has the highest rate of C-sections. It's astounding that in some states we're hitting up to 39% of all births are being born by C-section. They feel that's completely healthy. No one has done a movement evaluation on your child. So what goes on in the birthing process is really important, because you get your first rotation and you get your skeletal articulation, meaning your bones start to move. They start to move independently, and this is where your other systems, such as your fascia system, starts to go into play, and the baby's kind of moving around, and then they start learning a more synchronized movement to really put down development in a nutshell. To do this, they have to have weight transfer and transitional movements. Okay? When a baby, and you're like, why does this have to do with sleeping? If your baby didn't come out of the womb and know where their absolute horizon is, and I've covered this a lot, but you should be able to now I can't do an absolute horizon with my baby doll, but you should be able to go from here to the crib, back again, and all that without what you might think is a startle, a reflux, a stiffness, floppiness. I shouldn't pass my babies, and you have to hold the head, but they shouldn't be just like, oh my gosh, they're, low tone or stiff babies that you go to move them and they're just, they just start, they're doing all of that. I'm not saying you don't cuddle your baby, but you're going to go into all of that. You're also going to do your newborn movement assessment. I've had this out since 2016. I really just thought everyone would go, poof, that's what we have to do to see if our babies are ready to go. And it's still just like, what? It's on Amazon for the book. The free course is available. I want all babies to be okay. I don't do free for nothing. I do free because every baby has a right to a future. It's a requirement, not a goal. It's a requirement. So that, yes, your baby at first, especially if they're being breastfed, which is really important. Even if you just give them a week, you get a bilateral feed, they get to work. Remember, you're hand dominant when feeding a baby and all of that, but they're learning how to be humans. They first have an absolute horizon. Tummy time really happens right. They have a baby, they come onto your chest. It's starting to happen from day one. Again, it's not a goal, it's a requirement. And so when tummy time, I hate tummy time, my baby, no, guys, okay, go back. Did you do your newborn movement assessment? Well, no, I didn't know it. You have to look. So if your child at 12 to 18 months is not sleeping through the night, there's a conversation going on that is just not happening, right? And even with tummy time, a tummy time for a baby should look like this, right? Again, they're here. Let me straighten this out a little bit. So tummy time should look like this. Not that they're face planted, right? I have a rubber doll, but you should see just a nice little, and then they come here. Now the head itself will go like this. You shouldn't see a top heavy. You shouldn't see a butt coming up, face planting, all of this sort of stuff. They should be able to just play and go to sleep and play and go to sleep. Yes, you want to make sure that your child is getting the attention that they deserve, and you don't want them to sleep by themselves, but that's what tummy time should look like. I can tell you right now, if you don't have a successful tummy time, sleeping is going to be harder for your baby. Right? They're transitioning. In tummy time, they're learning how to breathe through their back, through their spine, and in sleeping as well. We used to sleep their babies on our bellies. We sleep their babies on our backs. Since 1992, it's been protocols in the U.S. And again, to sit there and force sleep, if you take all the movements out of a baby, they will shut down. Right? But people say, oh, but look, my baby, I swaddled my baby and they slept through the night. Do you want your baby shut down, or do you want them sleeping? Right? And this is where my argument with the swaddling, this kind of swaddling, and that the baby, especially when they're mummified, and really this is what we do with dead people. I'm telling you right now, you have a new nervous system. The main thing that nervous system is learning, and that's what movements are. I don't care if you call them a startle. The bones are learning how to move in space. The body's learning how to move in space. You want them to develop. If you want them back into the womb, you're saying, I don't want my child to develop. And I know people are going to say, well, I swaddled my baby and they were just fine. Without doing an evaluation on a baby to baby, I don't want to wait for just fine. Almost 1/3 of our kids have some kind of services going on in the United States alone. 1/3. From minor things, maybe to speech, dyslexia, or those kind of things, to major developmental delays and or global delays. This is not, I'm not prepared for wait and see of your child. So if your child really is not sleeping through the night, within around the 3-month process, I would, you need to do a full movement evaluation. The birth to 3 months, you've got the book, Early Intervention, Early Development and Warning Signs by me. The birth to 3 months, the 3 to 6 months is just about out. These things are important for your child. Start charting their milestones. Every baby should be leaving the doctor's office with a height chart, a growth chart, okay, maybe a head chart, but a movement chart. Notice how that doesn't happen. And just having a baby that's in a car seat, take your baby out of the car seat when they're being, and just say, are you going to examine my child? You know what I mean? But lots of times you get this. They're like, oh, so how's everything going? Are they rolling over? And they fell off a pillow once and you go, yeah, they're rolling over. Oh, great, they're on track. Guys, we need to learn development. We learn to know where our baby's at. We need to be, I wouldn't say that you have to do this 5 hours a day. I'm not looking for that. Know your baby. Know your baby if they're ready for development. Don't wait to the complaints. And even if it's minor is sleeping, seek help. Have I reviewed the video of your child? Have I gone through this sort of stuff? Have you gone? And I get it that, again, you might have a child that's developing fine. But what is fine? What is fine to you? We're going for optimal. And so that's what you need to look at. So please, there's ways of helping your baby. There's ways of helping you, right? But forcing sleep is not the answer, right? If a baby is, that's like the one I evaluated, which has this whole big knitted thing. I'm sorry, guys, that child is, the way that the legs are going out straight and the arms are going out straight. First of all, you can tell they've been swaddled before because they're in their position, but you're really risking minor to major complications with cerebral palsy. Now, I don't know the baby. I haven't evaluated the baby, so I don't know their birth history, but, I'm not prepared to put movements into my child. So to help a child sleep through the night, please consider that you have done your newborn movement assessment, that you're working with their milestones. Did you post a video for review to see what's going on? Are you saying stuff like, they hate this way, they can't do that, they have reflux, colic, those kind of things? If you notice, all of those are increasing tremendously. And it's not fair to you, and it's not fair to your baby. So let's just help them develop. Thanks.